Hey there, teacher friend. I'm going to try something a little new and different for my newsletter this week. In addition to the copy I'll email to all my subscribers, I'm going to record this audio version. As I was writing the newsletter this week, I realized three things. Number one, it was getting a bit long. Number two, it felt more like a conversation. The more I do this, the better I get to know you. The more I feel like we're friends, and I just can't help sharing all my word nerd goodness with you. For me, talking comes just as naturally as writing, and so thought this might be a good fit for some people. Plus, you're busy. Maybe you don't have time to read 1,500 words of an email, but I bet you can listen to me as I tell you all the good things while you drive home, go for a walk, or even fold laundry. So here we go. We're going to try a new thing. I proudly present the first ever audio episode of 5 Good Things for Teachers. Things over here in the Midwest have been a bit strange weather-wise. This past weekend, it was 85 degrees. After our city's big Oktoberfest parade, think German Culture Fest with dirndls, beer, and polka dancing for days, my kids jumped into my parents' pool. In October! In Wisconsin! Some years we're wearing our winter coats, but this year there was not a stocking cap or mitten in sight. Good weather certainly makes it easier to have fun, but it's a good reminder that even with annual traditions, things change. If you're facing change at school or looking to shake things up from your usual routine, I hope you'll find some good ideas in this audio episode. Here's a quick rundown of what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about Halloween and banned book lists, an activity called Rappers Read, Halloween Reader Theater scripts, novel units, and finally, my most favorite Amazon find, a classroom shelf that doubles as a room dividing screen. Are you ready? Let's do this. Good thing number one, spooky Halloween and banned book lists. As you plan out your first chapter Friday read-alouds for the month, I've got 2 lists for you to browse. The first one is a list of spooky Halloween books. Currently, there are 8 read-aloud videos in the playlist, but I'm adding more this month. Titles include books like The Thief of Always, The Enemy, The Graveyard Book, and more. If you're wanting to add some holiday-themed books, these would be great choices, especially for your students who love horror reading and scary stories. The second is a list of banned books that I have First Chapter Friday videos for. There are 7 books on this list, and I hope I never have to add more. Titles like Front Desk, Harry Potter, The Giver, and The Hunger Games are here. I also included the link for Ban This Book, An Amazing Story by Alan Gratz that would be a perfect read-aloud for Banned Book Week, which is this week, October 1st through 7th. Included in the docs are editable posters from Canva that you can use to promote these titles all month long. You can also click that link to make a copy and swap out book covers or add new ones from your own library collection. All those links can be found down in the description box. Alrighty, good thing number 2, Rappers Read. For middle schoolers, the power of celebrity status can do incredible things. Just look at Taylor Swift and the way she has brought so much attention to the Kansas City Chiefs. This already star-studded and famous organization has suddenly risen to meteoric heights simply because someone famous cared about it. You can use this same concept to elevate reading in your classroom. Check out this playlist of rappers and pop stars as they do their own renditions of the classic picture book Llama Llama Red Pajama. It's put together by the Cruise Show podcast, an iHeartRadio production out of Los Angeles. So when you look at this playlist, there are dozens of ways that you could use this gold mine of video content, but here's what I would do if I were using this in my classroom. Number 1, I would post the playlist. There's like 24 renditions right now, and they're adding more like every week. I would post the playlist in something like Google Classroom and ask students to listen to 3 different versions. For each version, I would ask them to identify what the reader or musician did well and how their unique spin added value to the performance. Then I'd ask students to choose their favorite rendition and share with a partner or small group or class their answers to the questions above, as well as any other positive thoughts on the reading and performance. Next, I would ask students to choose a picture book and create a reading performance of their own inspired by the celebrity renditions. A few books that I think would lend themselves well to this activity would be Little Blue Truck by Alice Schertle, a supreme favorite in my household, or any book by Sandra Boynton, specifically my favorite, Hippos Go Berserk. If people are brave enough, you can ask for volunteers to share their performance in front of the class. What your students will not realize as they are having the time of their lives in ELA class is that you've tricked them into practicing their fluency by engaging in repeated readings of a text. You're welcome. But this is not all. There's so many more things you could do with this, you guys. This could be a great collab with your music department, an awesome elective class, or a fun enrichment day or class activity. You could do it as a one and done lesson or stretch it out into an entire quarter with performances at their music concert. My ideas are just a starting ground. It's up to you to take it and run. Pro tip, I would not hand this activity over to a sub. There are just too many ways for this experimental activity and adolescent energy to veer off track without a seasoned pro in your room who knows your students the way you do. All right, it's time for good thing number 3, Halloween Readers Theater scripts. Speaking of fluency, one of my favorite ways to practice it is through Readers Theater scripts. In case you're new to the term, a Readers Theater is an oral reading activity that involves students reading a script adapted from literature. Just like the picture book activity above, students do repeated readings of a singular text. In this case, students are more willing to do the repeated readings because they're preparing for a performance. After they practice the script many times, they can perform for each other, for other classrooms, maybe like your second grade reading buddies or something. There are no backdrops, props, costumes, or special effects with a Reader's Theater. All you have to tell an engaging story is your voice. I mean, you can do costumes and such, but really, in my opinion, they're just more work, and it's more compelling if the students figure out ways to practice their intonation and expression to get the point of the story across. Luckily for you, I can't sell the Halloween Readers Theater scripts that I have made for my classroom out of copyright law and fairness and respect to the creators, but I can give them to you and highly encourage you to purchase the original books for your classroom and school libraries. You'd be surprised how many students want to read them even though they already know the story from class. Maybe even because they know the story? Anyway, you'll find the links for scripts in the description box. I hope you and your students have fun using them. You'll find scripts for The Perfect Pumpkin Pie by Dennis Katz and The Ugly Pumpkin by Dave Horowitz. If you'd like a rubric to use for student self-assessment or for your assessment of their fluency, you'll find a link for that in the description box as well. Turning a book into a Reader's Theater script is a little time-consuming, but it's not hard. If you're looking for other Halloween or fall books to turn into scripts for your students, watch the video called My Fall Favorites for a few of my favorites. It's linked down in the description box. Or if you're more of a reader, you can see the original blog post listing those books as well. The list includes several of my favorites, including Room on the Broom, Pomegranate Witch, and Mostly Monsterly. Next up, good thing number 4, novel units. I don't know about you, but there have been many school years that I arrived to the month of October feeling tired. September is always a whirlwind, but manageable because most of my planning had been done before the school year even started in the summer. When I flip the page to October, I often find a lot of blank space. And no, that wasn't an intentional Taylor Swift reference. If you find yourself in this position and need some really great stuff to fill out your lesson plans, consider one of my ready-to-go novel units. I don't have a ton, but they do cover a wide variety of genres, topics of interest, and reading levels. For a one-shop stop that includes pre-reading activities, chapter quizzes, discussion questions, read-aloud video links, post-reading and extension activities, and more, click the links in the description box to explore what I have to offer. I have resources for A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park, A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline, The Birthday Cash by me, Amanda Zieba, Breakout by Kate Messner, The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick, The Orphan Train Riders, again by me, Amanda Zieba, Rules by Cythia Lord, and Twice Towards Justice, the Claudette Colvin story by Phillip Hoose. And last but not least, good thing number 5, a classroom shelf/dividing screen. I'm the kind of person that needs to get my space right before I can productively work in it. You can 100% bet that my bulletin boards are done before my lesson plans. There's no way I'm able to focus on curriculum with a whole lot of ugly surrounding me. But I also know that once I've lived in my space for a bit and there are occasional changes and additions that I want to make, this shelf is one of them. Affordable and easily transportable, this screen/shelf is a perfect addition to any space. It can both block off an area and showcase books. It is my most favorite recent Amazon find. When a friend sent me the link, I was shocked at the price. I was totally expecting to pay hundreds for it. You can click the link in the description box to check out the dimensions and get yours. It's available in black and brown. Okay, that's it. I mean, that's a lot. Bravo for making it all the way to the end and listening to this first ever audio episode of 5 Good Things for Teachers. Thank you so much for trying something new with me today. If you're willing, I'd love to hear what you think. Did you like it? Should I continue with these audio versions? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Personally, I'm ready for sweater weather, for time on my couch by the fireplace, for Sundays full of football and soup. I'm not complaining about the sunshine and warm weather we've been having, but for me, the beauty of winter and fall is time to hibernate, to rejuvenate through rest without running here, there, and everywhere. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a little more of that. Thanks so much for joining me here on my channel, Learning with the Word Nerd. Please like this video and subscribe. If you'd like to receive the text version of this newsletter, sign up via the link in the description box. Happy teaching, my friends! I'll see you again next time.